It's a fucking fact. Putting on for my city, got 100 stats. I'm the realest nigga and it can't front on that. A lot of fake niggas hate me cause they wanna rap. But if they dumb enough to say it, I'ma fucking snap. Big guns, I got big guns, ARs, AKs, nigga, pick one. This young nigga on that shit, you should get on. And I promise you get fucked if your bitch come. No Sminklewood, nigga, show the crib love. Like that nigga Nip kinda.
And we're recording, Kyle? Okay. So this is the reaLove916 podcast. Real love with what L? So you know it's real. Our first guest on the show is gonna be the real KARIJAY. Kari, say hey to the people listening.
What's happening in Sacramento, California? Internet and abroad. How you feeling?
But basically, reaLove916 is a podcast. It's me. It's Sacramento. It's just people showing real love all the time to, people doing their thing. And KARIJAY, I've known her for, how long have I known you?
Man, I was like 18, 45 years.
Dang, it's been that long?
Yeah,
That's crazy. It feels like time just like goes by so fast.
4 or 5 years.
Yeah, it's been a minute.
It's been a minute, big
It's been a minute. But ever since I met you, I've just been always inspired by everything that you do. And you're probably one of the reasons why I started this podcast, because like you just show real love all the time.
Thank you for that.
Be totally honest. And if y'all wondering, if y'all not watching the video and y'all listening, y'all wondering what that sound is, that's Kari doing my hair, because right now I'm getting locked up, be twisted, because I only have my sister touch my hair. And she got them growing hands. Actually, let me plug her real quick, because that's one of the things we'll probably get into, is she does hair. But she does hair for a cause, you feel me?
Yeah.
So if you do need some blessings to your head, definitely hit KARIJAY up, and we'll go into her details in a little bit. But Kari, so what do you do? Like, what don't you do? Actually, like that is the better question, because that would probably be a shorter list of things.
Something I do, but I live, I breathe, I sleep, I eat, I fart, I shit.
Yes, real life shit.
No, but I'm a student. I go to UC Davis.
Okay.
I'm in 4th year at the University of California, Davis.
Okay.
I'm studying African American Studies and American Studies with a minor in education. Born and raised Sacramento, California.
Is that one of the reasons why you kind of wanted to go into that?
Into
your major with African American Studies?
Because of Sacramento, where I'm from?
Yeah. Absolutely.
I feel like Sacramento is such a beautiful place, and it gave me a lot of love for my culture and where I come from.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of questions I still have, and I felt like if I was going to stay close to home, I wanted to study something that was close to my heart, which is my culture and my community. So that's what I got there. I've been doing poetry since I was like 8 years old.
Okay.
In church, and then in like the world as a slam poet with Sacramento Area Youth Speaks. We travel all over the country, competing against teams. When I was slamming in 2012, we were 5th in the nation. We competed against teams from all over the world. So that's how I got into performing, was through like poetry and like slamming.
So you've always been an artistic. You've always been in the arts.
Oh yes, ma'am.
So where do you think that kind of came from?
My mom and my dad, they were both singers, songwriters, choir directors. They were hella into the church, hella into Christianity. And so we were brought up around music, like gospel for real. And that's kind of what gave us our musical understanding. Us really, our sisters and my brothers, our sisters and my brothers, we did a lot of that. So it was lit. We was always doing music. We was always in a family environment with that. That's how we kind of existed. It was like through music. We would sing, all that.
Yeah.
All that.
That's what's up. That's what's up. I was in the church too. Actually, I just found out that you could sing, and then I found out you was in church, and I was like, okay, that makes sense. Now it makes sense. You was just at the Top Home. We had a couple of Sundays ago. If you don't know what Top Home is, that's Oak Park Open Air Open Mic.
Yeah.
Yes, and that's actually where I met you at.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
the
where we first like.
I'm not featured there. Funny story. Let's tell the story.
Yeah. Because actually, that
was hella divine that day.
Man, there was so much like energy. Just the oh my God, yes. Actually, it was Women's Day that day. That's why there were so many sisters there.
But it was also on April 7th.
Mm-hmm.
It was 7th. There were 7 women present, and it was only like, you know, so many sisters that was gonna touch the mic.
Right.
So for it to be April 7th and there to be 7 sisters present, it was a lot. I remember writing a poem about that day. So it was so much fun. But no, it was hella dope. And shout out to Dante.
Yes, Dante Palayo
for putting on for the culture.
The Divine Styles pop-up. If you don't know, you better look it up. Hashtag.
Yeah, no, it's hella love. Hella culture always.
Yes.
Always. Sorry, I didn't mean to manhandle your neck.
No, it's okay. You doing my hair. That's my beautician right there. But yeah, that's so cool. That's so cool. But like, also with that, like, you know, with the spoken word, where do you know, get most of your inspiration from? Like, where do you draw most of that inspiration? Because that's one of the things I kind of want to dive into on this podcast is kind of like, how do you stay inspired? How do you, you know, where do you draw inspiration from? And, you know, what just keeps you going? Like, where did this become like, okay, this is something I want to do for life?
Right. Wow, I feel like I was raised in communities, different communities, but just communities. I always understood life to exist and understood living with existing and coexisting with other people. So for me, everybody in the community got a job and got a role to play.
Right.
And for me, I discovered very early that I had like a message, or like a messenger for the community. So in my life, it's taken different forms and different fashions. Like, what does that message look like? How do you share that message, and how do you get that part out? But I really just feel like I'm playing my part in a greater scheme of like living that everyone has a responsibility to do. So for me, I'm a messenger, and my passion derived from me understanding that only so many messages can get to my people so many ways. And it's going to take people that understand it, who can articulate and curate that message in so many different art forms in so many different ways. But, you know, I got something to say.
Yes.
I want to really, you know, start getting into it more and less about performing and more about conversating.
And honestly, that's what I loved about you. I think when I first met you at Top On, like, you really, when your whole energy when you came out, it was just, you know, it took hold, and it was just like, I was like, who is this? And just meeting you, just how humble and just how down to earth you were.
Thank you.
It definitely took me by surprise, because I was just like, this is a goddess in the midst. You feel me? And you had on white that day. I had
on white, girl. Don't say you
white, girl. Because I had the video. I got the video because I was just like so inspired. I was like, you know, really, really inspired with how passionate you were. And, you know, it made me like, damn, I need to start writing and really saying my message. I need to be speaking my message. And, you know, when I did start speaking my message, you know, it does resonate with people, and it really did inspire me to speak more.
Wow.
No, thank you.
Thank you for that, sister.
My sister. But yeah, so, and you doing my hair. So with you doing my hair, let's actually talk about that.
Let's talk about
Let's
hair.
talk about hair, because
let's talk about our crown.
Because we've been locked, sis. We've been locked up
and locked in.
And definitely.
Ooh, I think that's a good name.
Yeah.
I want to figure out. I'm about to start a hair service plug. It's about to be a mobile hair service.
Yep, we locked up and we locked in. Tap in with KARIJAY if you're trying to get locked in. Because I'm telling you, like, honestly, yeah, with having locks, it's definitely a changing experience with any other hairstyle I've ever had. Like, I mean, I never really had a lot of experience with weaves or like sew-ins or nothing like that.
Yeah.
But
Girl.
you know, I always did braids.
Woo.
I was always kind of like rocking the natural side. I usually wore a fro, like especially in my teens, my late teens, I was in a fro. But once I got locked, yeah, that was a different. It was.
So I was all of that. I had a different hairstyle every week. I was the weave queen. I did hair. I could put it in. I could take it out. I could braid it up. I could twist it out.
And see, that's the perk of being able to do hair. You could do your own hair. And
But I feel like too, a part of like Black Girl Magic is versatility.
Yes.
So when you could change it up and you know you look good doing different shit, you want to do as much stuff as possible. You know?
I feel you.
But it was also the unchanging constant of like having to refine and redefine yourself for other people's standards. And when you feel like you're changing your hair to look more straight, or you're changing your hair to look like a certain texture or a certain, you know, style, trend, whatever's in, like you're taking more and more away from like yourself and who you are.
Right.
So for me, my lock journey was really about like accepting myself in my most natural state, but also like committing to watching myself become my best. Like my hair gonna be hella long, popping fluffy. And my back pretty soon. And I'm gonna be hella proud like this is my hair. You know?
Like you don't even know how juiced I was that I was getting my hair done today because you already hear it sounds like somebody smacking an apple right back.
Oh, right here in your kitchen.
You feel me? But yeah, I'm so glad. And yeah, it's definitely commitment.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the things that, you know, having locks and, you know, going through the natural journey and just finding yourself and, you know, just making that decision to commit to locks.
So how long have you had your locks?
I want to say it'll be 3 years in November. And so like I locked up after I had my son. After my son turned 1, I locked up. And it was just like one of those times where I was just like, you know, I want to commit not just to my hair, but I want to commit to myself.
Absolutely.
And I want to commit to, you know, figuring out my purpose and what I want to do because, you know, I have a child now.
Right.
And that changes the game completely. Completely. So it just like, yeah, it put things in perspective to where, you know, I didn't have time to really do my hair or figure out, you know, styles or when I'm going to get it done or when I'm going to have the money to get it done. And with locking, it just was, okay, I'm going to do what's necessary and, you know, do what I need to do, less focus on my outside appearance and more focus on my inner appearance.
Also, too, everything that's good for your hair is good for your body and your heart.
Exactly.
So, like, if your hair just need more moisture, more water, more vitamins, a lot of that stuff you can consume in your diet and just make you a lot more healthier. So, like, my life journey was too committed to my best self, inside and out.
Yeah.
And not having to be so tied up in vanity, like, oh my gosh, I want to wait right now.
Right. It's just like
change it up.
Every other day I want to get waves.
You know what I'm saying? Every other day I want to get waves and change it up. But I'm learning to understand that we are diverse, like in ourselves, and to discover your inner diversity looks like taking time to really know who you are. Like, we can see ourselves in many forms, many fashions, just the way that we are, and it's a lot less about the aesthetic and more about like your spiritual dimensions and how you tapping into different frequencies within yourself.
Okay, so yes. And how did you get to this point to like what do you think, you know, drove you to this point? Like
point of no return. Don't look back.
Yeah.
Running and know where it's at. Right.
Don't just stop. Like don't stop on yourself. Don't give up on yourself.
I watch people die every day. I watch people be dead and be alive. People spiritually dead. I feel like not to just say I base a lot of my passions based off of like other people, but I understand that opportunities are robbed from people. When your life is taken from you prematurely, or when something happens and you just say, I wish I could. Also understand that we come from greatness and great people. So there's no confusion about what we can achieve. And when I think about something, I make a commitment to myself and to everybody who died for me to be here today to get that shit handled. Just based on the premise that we come from greatness. Right. And I don't think twice about that. Like, we already been through hella shit. Not historically and present day, every day. There's some shit going on somewhere, somehow, and we still here. So I just like, I don't take it for granted. And I appreciate my life and the ability to live and make a difference and do something. So for me, every day, every decision is like a life or death decision.
Ooh, girl, yes. Like everything about that, you almost gave me chills. I'm just like, and I can relate on so many levels because it's just like at some point you just have to, you know, take control of your life. And really just be like, this is what I want to do.
Hell yeah.
And
you change your outlook, your perspective, your understanding of your capabilities. You tell yourself everything that you want can be achieved and attained, and you believe that shit wholeheartedly, and you get it done.
And that's the biggest thing is mindset. And mindset, I feel like, can only be attained if you really just focus on yourself.
Right.
And when you're focused on yourself, you're eating right. You know, you're exercising, because that's one of the things that I always felt was the hardest thing. And it wasn't until I was just like, okay, what do I need today?
Right.
Like, what do I need to do for myself in order to better myself? Because it's just like, that's not a common question that we ask ourselves.
Right.
I feel like, especially when we're younger, we just do things. We do what feels good, or we do what is fun. We don't really think about, you know, the repercussions of our choices, or how it's, you know, either helping us to grow or stunting our growth. So yeah, you really have to be aware. You have to be active in your life.
Hell yeah.
Oh sis, you got me on. Especially I just had that blunt. I'm just over here getting introspective, but I gotta be out here. But yes.
No, for sure.
I definitely appreciate you doing my hair too. Like that's
Girl, this is therapy.
And another thing with hair, you gotta tell us why you do hair, and also, you know, what you're doing hair for now, and yeah.
So first and foremost, y'all can follow my hair page at West Crowns, CROWNZ, West to West Crowns. That's my hair page. West to West is a movement. It's a movement that includes the complete, absolute liberation of African people, which includes all Black people. And that means liberation of our minds. And we believe with West to West Crowns and the upkeep and the care of our hair, it denotes a lot about how we feel about ourselves and our spirit. So we encourage folks, I encourage folks to rock their real natural hair. And if you ever want to get your hair locked, I start locks for free, because locks are really about true freedom. So you can hit me and I'll do your locks for free, but I maintain them at a cost. At a cost. I'll start it for free, but we'll get them all popping. And yeah, so hit me up. I also do braids. I also do twists, locks, of course. And I do weaves too. I ain't hate. You feel me? I do a weave, but I do natural hair for free. So tap in. And all the money that we raise, the percentage of that money that's being raised is going toward our youth trip. We're raising money to take youth to Africa, Sacramento youth, Sacramento born and raised youth from California, and they're going to go see Ghana for the first time this July 27th through August 8th. And if you would like to learn more about that, you can visit at West to West Movement on Instagram, or West2westmovement.com. West to West.
Now, how did West to West come about? Because I always wanted to ask you that, because I was just like blown away. I knew that you were involved in it, and then when you were like, girl, I started it. Like, I was just like, wait, what?
Like, so look, I met one of the most extraordinary people, like my sister Tia Williams.
Shout out to Tia.
Shout out to Tia, Latia. We
don't see her
in Los Angeles. Yeah, you'll see her in the page. She's in Los Angeles, holding it down. West to West functions in 2 cities right now, and so she's handling it west in LA. But me and Tia went to UC Davis together. Tia graduated in 2017, but we went to UC Davis together, and we were both studying abroad. And the crazy thing about Tia is I met her in high school. I was like on the little college acceptance trip for you know, Black kids. Like if you got into Davis, you could come up there for a weekend and like meet other Black people and stuff. So we were there, we were kicking it with them, and she was like, you know, one of the OGs there. But we really never had the opportunity to like tap in and like talk. So that following year, Tia had left and went to Ghana for a study abroad program while it was like my first year at Davis as a student. And so the whole time she was gone, everybody was like, bro, you got me Tia, bro. Y'all are just alike. You got me Tia, bro. You got me Tia. I'm like, bro, who is Tia? Because I remember her from the trip. You know what I'm saying? From the overnight trip. But it wasn't like we were locked in. So the whole time she was gone, I was at Davis, and she was hearing the same thing. People was telling her, like, hey, bro, you got to tap in with TK. That's what they call me in college, but my name is KARIJAY. They're like, hey, you got to tap in with TK. You got to tap in with TK. And I was like, okay. So by the time she had got back, I had signed up for my study abroad trip in the summer. And so when she had got back from the school semester, I was going out there for summer school.
Yeah.
So we kind of missed each other in passing a little bit. But we end up having very similar experiences in Ghana for the first time as like Africans born in America. And we had to learn a lot about ourselves while there. And when we got back from our study abroad trip, shout out to Professor Moore at UC Davis for curating a wonderful trip and really being an inspiration to me as a young woman and a young scholar, that you could really make your education more experiential. And it doesn't have to be about textbook, but you can learn a lot by being present and just learning for yourself.
Right.
But so I went on the trip, the study abroad trip to UC Davis. We learned hella shit. I took some units, saved my GPA by going hard, but it was a lot. It was dope. I went to Ghana and learned a lot about myself. I learned a lot about how we are a lot more alike than different from people in Africa. And how, because of the depictions of Africa, you would think that we don't have any connection or correlation to, you know, them with African people in the continent are a lot like African people in America, in that we have a lot of the same celebratory practices and traditions. We turn up hard, we love hard, we have big hearts. And you see that when you're able to go and stay in Ghana for like 6 weeks, and all you have to do is just talk to people and build with people. So I felt a really strong connection to Ghana, to West Africa, and I wanted to give people opportunity to do that. First and foremost, my parents. I was like, my parents never even been to Africa. And everybody in Ghana looked like me, and everybody in Ghana act like they know my mom, or they ask me, like, who's your auntie? Or like, we like, these are our people. That's just period. There's been such an intentional divide that it was hard for us to even have that conversation with Ghanaian folks. And so we're seeing like there's work to be done here, and there's a lot that we can do, a lot more than we can do together. So when we and Tia were able to get back to the States at the same time, we instantly connected. We were like, okay, let's link up, let's go chill. We talked and we just shared about our experience in Ghana, and it was so similar. We had a lot of the same takeaways. We've seen a lot of the same successes and like the potential of being active, just as active in Africa as we are in like America, or interested in like the economy and the American economy as we are in the Ghanaian economy. And what does it mean to have like international business relationships where you can watch your money exponentially like expand and increase in a different country, while we're over here like living in debt, starving for America's crumbs. You can watch your money like grow. So
that's what's up.
So we got together and we was like, so what's up?
Now,
like, how
when was this?
Back?
I'm sorry.
That was 2000. So we went back. This was 2016, December 2016. I went to Ghana and Tia just got back. And then I think Tia went in 2014, but I had just got back in 2016. And 2017, we went to Ghana for Christmas together. Like, let's just go back and see what we can do. Like, we didn't have our itinerary. We was like, bro, let's just go pull up in Ghana. You miss it, I miss it. Like, it's so fucking fun in Ghana. And you just don't ever want to come home or back to America. You consider it home. And so anyway, so we were out there, and so we went there for Christmas. We didn't have our itinerary, and like literally every day we met somebody different who contributed to our mission. It was like,
so
hey,
this was
y'all want to be coming out here more? Like, y'all need an office space? Like literally people were just coming up to us with resources. And it was like we can do something out here. Like there's a need for a connection and a relationship, and it will be fostered. It will be, you know, well received, and we could begin to allow people to see and experience how we are alike, more than just telling them every time we get back. Like, hey, yeah, I just got back from Ghana. Like, nah, I want to take people with us. So when we went for Christmas, and we're able to do some really great research out there about like what our people really needed, we came back with a commitment to take people for the next Christmas. So that was Christmas 2018. We took 23 people for the first time. And that was like the kickstart of everything. Where we want to say like, okay, we're going every year. These are the next countries you're gonna go to. How do we get relationships in these countries? We were able to go and like do some really good work with a lot of schools. So it was dope. It was dope as hell, and it's really just the beginning of something that's to come larger and greater and far more broad.
That is amazing. Like, especially how fast, like, it all came together. It was just like, boom, bam, pow. Like,
God is so good.
Yes,
God
definitely.
Is so good. All praise to the Most High.
And that's what I was gonna ask you. So that wasn't even like a year ago, to be honest.
Nah, that was December 2018.
That is so cool. Like how you were able to put that together, and just like, you know, the dedication that you have for yourself. Like you were just like, we gonna get it done. Like this is what we got planned, and we're just gonna do it.
Right.
And that's kind of just sometimes just what it takes. Like especially like with this podcast, like it was just one of those things. Like even today, I was unsure if we were going to be able to do it. And, you know, but I kind of made a commitment. I went to Feminism last night, and shout out to
Feminism.
Yeah, shout out to Feminism, because
shout out to you.
They are a group of amazing women, and they really encourage you to, you know, get those passion projects, get your dreams, you know, really fulfill your dreams. And and with doing this podcast, as soon as I went to a feminism, like right the day after, I was like, yeah, this is what I need to do. Yeah. And then I was like, I need to find a part-time job so I can quit my full-time job, so I can, you know, focus on what really makes me happy, on you know, what I'm passionate about. And that's one of those things where it was just like reaLove916. It really started on the corner with Dante. It started at, you know, really just the concrete level, and now it's just like I'm really trying to take it to a place where it's a real thing. So yeah, this is where it kind of starts, but definitely with the events, hosting events, and getting artists together. Artists like you and you know, other producers, and just collabing with other people. Yes, and it's just like it really, I am really thankful for y'all, because without y'all, the space would be useless without y'all. So it's just like, you know, just that commitment to yourselves to be like, hey, I want to be an artist, and I want to make music, and I want to record, and I want to show people, you know, my message. Like that puts me like in a space where I'm just like, I want to see these people get their message out. Like, let me do that. And you know, I just learned something every day.
Like Oprah conscious?
You know, I guess in a way.
Smoke on her show?
I'm gonna be the Rasta Oprah out here. Rasta girl. But I don't know if I want to be Oprah, because I don't find myself as a self like help type of person. I'm more so I learn from everybody that I meet. I feel like everybody that you meet, I feel like this is a common thing, but everybody that you meet knows something that you don't know. And everybody that you meet is worth learning from, even if it's like their lessons. And it's even since I was young, I've always been a very observant person, and I've always been like learning from people. And so, you know, I love talking to people. I love, you know, figuring out, you know, how did you get to where you were, get you where you are. And, you know, I feel like leading by example, that's one of the main things that I love, is just like, don't just tell me, show me. Because I feel like, you know, actions.
That's real love.
Yeah, that's real love. That's real love, if you can show me. Because, you know, everybody can say what they want to do. Everybody can, you know, say what they've done. But, you know, show me what you've done. Show me what you want to do. And, you know, that's where real things come into play. So, yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with this. And especially with the podcast, I just want to have more artists and people, you know, with a message to get out there to inspire people. Because I feel like, you know, we're in a place in the world where everything is negative. Not everything, but there's a lot of negativity. And I feel like everybody's focus is on the outside, you know, and I feel like we should focus more on ourselves, on the individual, and on growing in order to, you know, affect the outside. Because right now, you know, we're being programmed. We're being programmed by, you know, the media. We're being programmed by just about everything we see. And so I feel like, you know, the more that we just focus on growing ourselves and finding knowledge and our purpose in this world, like the better things will be. So Yeah, I want to help people find their purpose, and I know how hard it can be living in this world because you get so distracted by all the bad things that are going on. But it's just like there's also so much good going on. Absolutely. Especially like with the West to West movement. That is amazing that you're doing that. Like that is like just the. I always wanted to go to Africa. Like that was one of the things where it was just like you said, we had to change our outlook on it because we've been programmed to think that it's a negative place, that it's a poor place, that it's not rich in this culture, but it is actually one of the richest places on this planet. It is the richest places on this planet, but we would never know it because we live here where it's not popularized as so. So it's just like, we need to learn more about our roots and where we come from and, our power, the power that we hold.
Absolutely. Right here, live and direct.
Live and direct. But Kari, so I think this is a good time to ask you.
Okay.
So what I want to ask this to every guest because I feel like it's important to put in perspective, goals for yourself and, kind of like where you want to end up at the end of this life's journey. And I would like to know what do you want to be remembered for? Like, what do you want people to, be like, that Kari, this is what I remember most about her. This is the imprint that she left on me. And it doesn't have to be like if you die tomorrow. It could be like, at the end of your days, what do you want to have accomplished and be remembered for?
Okay, well, I definitely want to be remembered for having and trying to inspire endless capacities of love. And what that looks like is just honesty and genuinely loving each other, ourselves enough to do better and want the best for ourselves. I think real love is inspiring. I think real love inspires action, and real love inspires like real change. So endless capacities and unconditional love. I try to exude that in everything that I do. And then like the legacy, hopefully after the legacy of love, I definitely hope to have a legacy of self-determination.
Yeah.
And a legacy of focused execution, getting shit done. Yeah. And letting people know that we are all that we are, and we are all that we need. So like the idea that everything that we need is inside of us, and we are ready for whatever, just as we are.
That's so beautiful. And you know what? You are already on that road. You definitely are, because I can tell you right now that's what I tell most people about you. Like, you would go get her. You just want to talk about you. But I be telling them, like, honestly, anywhere we go, you not only network, but you make friends. You are, inspirational. You are, queen goddess.
Thank you, sis.
KARIJAY.
I'm trying to get on my love.
Yes, and thank you so much for being on reaLove today. Like, and doing my hair. Like this, we're taping this episode, so if you like to see Kari doing my hair, but she's just retwisting my locks. We got to do this often, not too often, but we got to do this sometimes.
Show us some love.
Yeah, you got to show your crown some love. You got to show yourself some love. And it's not just like the inside thing, like we were saying. It's also, or it's not just the outside, it's also the inside. But yeah, I think we gonna wrap it up on that note. But if you want to watch the video of Kari doing my hair, see that flex, you can definitely see it on my page. reaLove916, 1L, so you know it's real. But yeah, thank you so much again, Kari, for being on the show.
Thank you.
And we definitely gonna have you back, girl, because I'm gonna need you to co-host on one of these. Thank you to our sponsors. We don't have any. And actually,
thank you for our sponsors, High House.
Yes. Thank you to our sponsors, High House, because High House on High Street. This is dope because I can get high in here. And it was like a last minute thing. And they made the accommodation so fast, and this space is so amazing. And yeah, just very good vibes. So thank you so much for having us and letting us record.
Shout out to the crew.
Shout out to the crew, Jacob, you bombed, and shout out to my little sister and Ronan. And shout out to Jamil for the lighter because he left it at my house. And yeah, that's the end.
Shout out to reaLove916.
And Carlo Rossi. Shout out to Carlo Rossi.
I was gonna say, how'd you say before I even get my glass there?
Thank you,
Real
Carlo
classy
Rossi, for refreshing us on this episode. Yeah, and that's all, y'all. I'll see y'all next time.
Live every day like it's your last, bitch.
Yee. So, KARIJAY.
Yeah.
What is your Instagram handle? What is your Instagram?
My Instagram is at the real Kari, KARIJ, JAY, at the real KARIJ.
Okay, and are you also on Facebook?
I am on Facebook at facebook.com/therealKARIJ.
Okay.
And also follow West to West Movement. I think I already said it, but I'm gonna say it again. West #2 West Movement on Instagram, and west2westmovement.com was our website.
Perfect. And then also, there was also one other thing. You have a single out, don't you?
I got like two.
Yeah,
I got
you
like
got a
two
couple.
singles out.
Okay, how about you plug them? Because I actually have one in the link in my bio.
Hey, in
Yes.
your bio?
Girl, yeah.
I'm in your bio.
Love, you're in my bio. So that's on the reaLove916 page, 1L, so you know it's real. If you look at my bio, there is a link to KARIJAY's single. Let me actually see which single is it.
Is it Black Light?
No, I don't think it's Black Light. It's the one that just came out.
Black Light was the one that just came out.
Is that it?
The most recent.
The most recent is Black Light?
Black
Then it
Light,
might be
get
Black
that.
Light. I'll have to double check.
Coming out on the album.
You know what? My phone is right here. Let me see. Because I'll press it right now. We can play it while you play it. While you playing. Girl.
Yes, my album's dropping this summer, y'all. It's self-titled Kari, which is who I really am.
Yes, the real her.
The real.
I have Bosley.
Hey.
Yeah. I was like, that ain't the most recent one.
Is it? I think I took it off SoundCloud.
Nope, it's on here.
Wow, SoundCloud played me. I'm about to.
They played you. Because we listening to it.
Hey. Turn it up. Actually, fun fact, I recorded this song in Africa.
Recording in Africa.
Shout out to Kill Medic. Shout out to RTV.
Hey. Hey. Hey.
Shut up. You good? Not her. Shut up. Never. Yeah. Why you put the song on? I thought I gotta rap. And I thought I gotta rap and twist hair.
You can.
And dance will be at the same
You
time.
can.
Woo! Let's get through this, y'all. Hold up. Rules to the game, ain't no rules to the game. Rules stay real, never change. Oh, Charlie, fuck what they say. We gon' ball like I named Dwayne every day. Beating out like a slave, girl, you was never a slave. They put your beauty in chains and tried to take it away. But every day, mama always made a way. I'ma learn from her mistakes. They don't understand your grind. They don't recognize your strength. They don't wanna see you shine when they ride in second place. All these brothers on your line, tell these brothers they can wait. Money is time and time is ticking and ticking and time is ticking away.
Hey.
Hey,
That's
like
what I
a
said.
boss.
She do it all. You do it all.
Yeah.
That's what I'm telling people.
I'm about to start trying to make Afrobeat music.
Yes,
Stay tuned.
girl. I need that. Because you already know I be whining.
Boss. Yeah. Yo, I can do it too.
Perfect. Thank y'all for listening. reaLove916.
916.
Real KARIJAY and his bitch.
Till we B.I.E. in this bitch.
Ashlyn Shanae, she.il Nene on IG if you want to follow me. reaLove916 on IG as well. Make sure y'all tap in. Alright?
Yeah. This is me, y'all. So we're gonna finish your hair.
Boss, 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 she yeah, boss, boss, boss. You can't tell me that I can't when I know I can. You can't tell me that I ain't when I know I am. I said you can't tell me what I can't when I know I can. You can't tell me who I ain't when I know